Hello, good morning, and welcome to Radiant Farmstead. My name is Ashlee. If you haven't been here, then welcome. And if you have been here and you're coming back and enjoying this again, then welcome back. I'm glad to have you. I've got my coffee here and one of my favorite cow mugs. Look how cute. It was on our coffee mug of the day here a couple days ago. But today is day 2 of our 100-day posting challenge. So today is a little bit of a vulnerable day for me. I do not like showing people our mess. I don't like showing people like our lived in space, because sometimes on YouTube everything is very like glorified and made to look very perfect. And it's hard for me to share the real lived in spaces that we live in, just because it doesn't match like that perfect aesthetic. So today is a hard one for me. I'm pushing myself. This is a challenge. So I figured I would go the extra mile and challenge myself in this way as well. I want you guys to be able to see that we are real, that we are real people, that we live just like you do. So please bear with me as you see kind of our mess as we're trying to navigate everybody living in our RV. For those of you who don't know, who are new, we live in a 41-foot RV here in Southwest Oklahoma. It's my husband and I and our 4 kids, ranging from ages 9 months all the way up to 13 years old. Our twin daughters are 13. They just turned 13. So there's a lot of us in here. Not to mention we have a dog, 2 cats, and 2 hedgehogs as well. We are a zoo in there. So there's a lot of things. We went from a 1,500 square foot house all the way down to less than 500 square feet. We literally sold everything. We got rid of everything. Any sentimental things that we had, we put in totes and sent to my parents' house. But there wasn't very many of those. We really like just sold our life away. It was crazy. So it's definitely an adventure. So this is hard for me to show you guys like the real process, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it together, because you know what? Most people don't live in that like beautiful, wonderful aesthetic world where everything is perfect and put together and there's never any dishes in the sink. Like that's just not how it works. So especially for, you know, having 4 kids and living in the country. So we're just gonna be real with y'all, and I hope you can bear with me and forgive me for the mess and relate to some of this. But today we're gonna go over our plans for specifically like our living room, dining room area. I keep kind of teasing this on different things, saying, oh, we're gonna go over our living room layout. But that's what we're going to do today. So I'm gonna overlay some, I'm gonna put some footage up and talk over that to explain to you kind of our plans, like how it is laid out now and how it's going to be laid out later. You know, like I said, we're real people, and right now we're in the process of selling our house. So we're basically paying for 2 houses barely by the skin of our teeth. I don't know how we're able to manage it sometimes, because my husband does not make, you know, $50 an hour. Like that's ridiculous. Like we are a single income household, and we try to live frugally. We try to save as much as we can, but you know, we still, I mean, there's 6 of us, so like there's a lot of expenses. So because of that, we have not been able to afford to buy like the shelving and the table and the benches and things like that we're wanting to buy in order to make this space a little bit more functional for everybody, just because of our financial situation right now. And even though some of those things are only like, you know, $50, $60, you know, that is something that's a lot of money for us right now. As I was talking, my daughter Sophie just woke up and is taking the dog out and wanted to say hi. So say hi. Hi. like I said, real life is the fact that my kids didn't take the dog out quick enough today, and she just pooped all over the floor. That's the real life we're living in right now. That's not super aesthetic, but that's just how it is. So come along with me as I walk you through the footage, and I can explain a little bit more about what we're wanting to do, and then I'll tie it back around at the end and kind of explain a little bit more of why we want it that way. Welcome to our RV. Right as you walk in, you'll see some of the stuff. That is some of the stuff that was left over in our house that we're trying to find places for, and some of it needs to go to my parents' house. We have our hedgehogs there, our little portable AC unit. Here is my desk where I do all of my work for this YouTube channel. And this is the table where we keep all of my business stuff. Some of it is stuff that I'm getting rid of because I am no longer making soap. Some of that is baby clothes that are too small that I'm going to have to take to the store to sell them, give them back. There's a lot going on. We need better storage for sure because it would help a lot. But I love our little table area here. What we eventually want to do, as you can see, is I would love to put a bench right there with a table, a drop leaf table, so we can have a little bit of functionality here. I'll keep my little desk. It works really well. And then over here, where our hedgehogs are, I would love to put a big shelf or even a corner shelf that wraps around so that I'd have a lot of functional kind of pantry space and space to can things. I'm also wanting to put like a little shelf for our little hedgehogs. You can see one of them sitting right there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the little mini tour of our RV, at least that little dining room, living room section. I did not show my kitchen just because it is a total mess. I did not clean up that well from dinner last night, and I made bagels this morning. I have like flour all over my shirt from baking this morning. So I will give you a kitchen tour on another day. I already have it planned out for our videos for our 100-day challenge. But let me just explain to you a little bit of why I have chosen the layout that we did. So as we walked through that first little section, as you like walk through the front door, I mentioned that there would be like shelves, and my hope is to get like a corner shelf in that section. The reason is I want to start canning things, and due to the space in our kitchen, which I will show you again in another video, I just do not have the space to put up a lot of food. I have very, very minimal space. Obviously, RVs typically are not meant to live in full time, and some of them have pantries and things like that. Ours does not, which we did not mind not having a pantry because it left room for other things, including a large island. You kind of saw that on the video, to give me a lot more space to cook. So, and it also gave us the opportunity to have like our little entertainment system that's there, like our center that has our TV, and there's lots of storage above and there's storage below, and there's that electric fireplace, which we thought would come in handy, especially considering how cold it gets here in Oklahoma in the middle of the winter. Having something that's not a propane heater as a backup is always a good idea anyway. Having things in two different ways, formats, whatever, is a lot safer, just to make sure that we have a backup just in case one works and one doesn't or something like that. You just never know. So I would love to get those corner shelves so that I can start buying things more in bulk. Obviously, you guys hear me talking about baking all the time. You see my videos. I also sell bread, flatbreads, banana bread, sourdough bread, and a lot of other things. I'm starting to do cinnamon rolls and stuff like that. Here locally, I have a new vendor shop that I'm going to be, not a vendor shop, it's a local coffee shop that is opening here in coming closer to like October, November, and I'm going to be my sourdough bagels are going to be there. I will announce the name of that and stuff like that once it gets a little bit more precise and they're ready to announce it. But I'm also doing vendor shows and things like that, bringing my baked goods and selling them to the local community. So I bake a lot, and so I would love to buy my ingredients in bulk as well. Obviously, as a family of 6, we also go through a lot of rice, a lot of beans, a lot of, you know, just staples like that. I would love to get those kind of things in bigger containers, and I would love to have the space to put them, which is why I would like those larger shelves to go along that corner. I think that would be the best use of space for that little tiny area. I think I could fit a lot of food on that shelf, and that's what I would really like to do. I'd love to start like pickling my own onions and cucumbers and carrots and okra and all that kind of stuff that I get from the farmer's market. I would love to start doing that myself, and just kind of be able to make our own tomato sauces and all the things that you think of when you think of, you know, canning and being on a homestead. I would love to be able to do that, but right now I don't have the space, and so I can't buy jars. I can't, you know, even have extras of food. I have to buy exactly what we need for the week, and that's awesome. But I do like to plan out, and I like to buy in bulk because it's cheaper. We have Sam's Club around here. I know some of you have Costco. We don't have a Costco close, but and there's other ones around the country. Comment down below what kind of like bulk whole food store that you guys have, or like wholesale store. But we have a Sam's Club, and that's where we get all of our stuff in bulk. So I'd love to buy like oil and stuff. We go through it enough to where I'd be able to store it, but I just have to have somewhere to store it. So that's what I would like to do with that. I would also like another small, if it would fit, just because I'm just visually doing this with my head. I haven't actually measured anything out yet, because we're not close enough to being able to buy it yet to where it'll matter. But I'd love another little shelf, as you saw, next to the desk and next to the other shelf. That would be like the hedgehog shelf. We could also use that for a little bit of storage. They don't really need a whole lot of stuff, but we also have like their pine shavings. That's what they bed in. They bed in pine shavings. And then also we have like they just eat regular cat food, which is not something that a lot of people know. I might be able to do a little video on the hedgehogs because they're pretty cute, or at least a couple shorts to show you them because they're adorable. But they actually just eat like high protein cat food, so they share food with the cats. But we need storage for the bulk food that we have for the dog, because she's a big dog. She's probably like close to 50 pounds of German Shepherd. She eats a lot. We have the 2 cats, which go through a lot of food. We have kitty litter. We have those kind of things. And I'd like to put those kind of things on the shelves underneath the hedgehogs, just so that we can, you know, have a space specifically for the pets. Like that's the pet shelf. Then they can also sit up on the top of the shelf. That's kind of my intention, is that they'd sit up on the top of the shelf and have their own little space away from everything. If you saw on that video, I think I mentioned it as we were walking through, there is a baby gate, like a pet gate that you would like put in between like the base of the stairs over the top of the hedgehog cages. That is because we rescued a kitten. That is one of our cats that we have. And she is so incredibly sweet, but she has no manners whatsoever. So any kind of like normal household cat manners are like out the window, because she like basically, she grew up on the streets. So she's like, I don't know, she thinks she's gangster or something. She thinks she runs the place, and I'm pretty sure she, like, you know, has everything all planned out in her head. She's pretty smart. But she has realized that the hedgehogs eat their food, the cat food. And so she will jump into the hedgehog cage and avoid getting poked and eat the cat food. So I'll be like, wow, they're eating a lot of food. Like, I'm not supposed to be getting them more, like, because they can get really overweight and that can be really unhealthy for them. But then they're just acting like they're starving all the time. And I figured out it was the cat who has been jumping in and stealing their food. So she has like no food manners whatsoever. She will just, if there's food, she's like, oh, that's my food too. Because, like, you know, when she was living on the streets, any food was, you know, it was free game. So we're working on it. She's getting better. She's learning little by little. We give them plenty of food anyway. They just, obviously prefer everybody else's food because they're cats. So that's what I want to do. I want the pet shelf. Then next to it, I have my little desk. That was not the intention to have that little tiny desk. It's actually an antique sewing table. I'll have to show you sometime. You can flip it up and there's an antique pink sewing machine in it. It's so pretty. I'm gonna rip it out and it doesn't work. So I'm gonna rip it out and clean it up and take off some of the parts that don't work and give it to my daughter just as like decoration for her big room that she's gonna have one day once we actually have a house again, because she is obsessed with pink. And if you guys don't know, she has a little business sewing. I will link her Facebook page where she sells all of her stuff down below. She is an incredible seamstress. She makes dresses and aprons and scrunchies, and she does an incredible job, especially considering she does it out of their little 100 square foot room. So like less than 100 square foot room, where they can't even stand up. So it's pretty amazing. She's very, very talented. But that is, I'm going to give that to her, and then I'm going to put a little board in the bottom of that for storage, and I can keep all of my little like office stuff, office desk stuff. It's just a little space, but that's all I need. I didn't keep enough of my like office stuff for it to really matter. Really all I need is my laptop and just some extra pens and tape and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep that in the bottom of that desk, fix it up. Eventually we're going to repaint it, give it a little like boost, make it a little prettier. I will do a video on that as well. I have that planned out already. But then next to it, we walked by and I showed you where I wanted to have our bench. So my plan is to have a storage bench with maybe like a cushion or something on the top to make it a little bit more comfortable. Either one of the ones that folds up or the ones that has just like kind of the block storage at the bottom. And that is going to be our dining room bench. That's what we're going to butt the dining room table up against. That way it gives us a little bit of extra storage. We're not wasting any space in this home. We're trying to put space and storage as many places as we can. Then that's a perfect place where I can put like some of my bigger appliances that we don't use every single day or we don't use often. So I mean, obviously I cook a lot from my what's it called, crock pot, but it's not every single day, and so that would be a great spot to store the crock pot. That would be a great spot, if it's like one of the lift up benches that I could store those bigger containers of, extra oats, extra, flour, extra rice, those kind of things, if they don't fit on the shelf. Just, thinking ahead, I can put my big giant stock pots in there that I, only use like once a week. So I can get it out of the kitchen and make more room for food in the kitchen. So, just those kind of things, just to make life a little bit easier. So in front of that, I said that I wanted a dining room table. And what I'm really wanting is one of those like antique drop leaf tables that turn into like just a little sliver of a table, but the sides fold up and can create a really big table. You can fold like one or you can fold both. That gives us some flexibility, kind of some functionality in our living room, and makes it kind of modular, which is obviously something that we need because our space changes. It's not like we have an office for office things, and we have a bedroom for bedroom things, and we have like, a den for playthings for the baby, and we have a dining room. We don't have that. Like, all that space is everything for us. So to be able to flip down both sides of the table and just let my son do his schoolwork on it, one or two of the kids to do their schoolwork on that little sliver of the table, so they can just put their laptops on there and do their schoolwork, or color or do whatever, or to flip it up so that my daughter can sew on it, or they can, if they need to do school projects, they can do it on just the one side. And then when we need to eat, or I need more space for baking, or I need like basically, you know, a counter extension. Sorry, it's really, really windy. I hope you guys aren't hearing all of that wind. I think you're pretty much blocked, but if you are, I'm sorry. Then we can flip up both sides. It makes it very, very easy to change the space around as needed. If we need more floor space for the baby to crawl around or things like that, we could just flip it down and put it right up next to the bench. It just is I think it's a great addition for that space, just because it makes it so easy to change it up as needed. So that is what I would like to do with that space. Eventually, since we're just going through it all, I would love to, you saw there's the couch and there's the 2 end tables. I would love to rip out those end tables because they are very, very deep, but you can't actually put things all the way in the back of those end tables because they're extremely hard to get to. So really you can only use the first, like, if I'm being generous, the first 6 inches, and there is easily another like 15, 20 inches of storage space, which is great for like long-term stuff. But really, since we're in the RV and we downsize, we don't have a lot of long-term stuff. Everything that we have, we use at least on a weekly basis. We don't have a lot of like things that we just need to store for long-term. So right now, that's where some of my canning jars are. That is where some of our like extra electronic cords are, so they can just be tucked back there, and things that we don't need every day. But it's just not really a functional space. So I'd love to rip those out and scoot the couch all the way over as you're looking straight onto it. Scoot it all the way over to the left so it's closer to the dining room table. I would love to like switch it out for a prettier couch too, because even though this one folds down into a bed, which is very useful, our, like, my parents and stuff like that, they, my mother-in-law lives in town. My parents live a little over an hour away, but they're getting a little bit older. They wouldn't really be able to sleep on that anyway. So if we did that, I think we're just going to buy a couple air mattresses. So if we have guests, they can just do that. And we'll just have them like underneath our bed, like stored underneath our bed or something like that, because, you know, they can pack down really small, especially nowadays. They have like small space ones. But that's what we're gonna do. So we don't really need the fold out couch. Sometimes we'll just use it to lounge on, but like honestly, the cat gets down there and won't come out. And then like there's baby toys that are down there, and it's hard to clean because you have to pull it all the way out, and it's like in there. I mean, there is like not even a centimeter of space between the arms of that and those little end tables. Like it's perfect dimensions. So I would like something maybe a little bit prettier, and I would like something that's up on like pedestal feet, so that this is just kind of dreaming, but what I would love to get is one of those walking pads, you know, like you see on TikTok all the time. One of my friends has one and she absolutely loves it, and it just slides under your bed, but I would love to slide it under the couch so that it just gives us another option if it's not good weather outside. Like, it's been so hot, there's no way that I'm getting outside to exercise. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's over 100 degrees. I have the baby. I have to bring her with me if I go outside. Typically if the kids can't watch her or whatever, but like, it's not gonna happen. It is so incredibly hot. I mean, it's heat stroke. They have a heat warning on your phone every morning when you open up your weather app. So it's just not gonna work. So I would love that as an alternative for me or the kids or my husband, to be able to get a little bit of exercise in, get a little bit of cardio in. I would definitely use it all the time. Because I'm on my computer a lot doing YouTube stuff and I'm running my business, I'm sitting down a lot, and you know, I want to make sure that I'm up and active, and that would give me another way to do that, just a little bit more conveniently. And then I would like to build like a small custom cabinet that's, you know, the width and the length of both of those end tables combined, because it would be a whole lot easier to store things in. So I might be able to make it I've done a little bit of carpentry in my life. If you've been here, like you're one of the OG subscribers, you probably remember seeing pictures and stuff of our sweet rabbits that we had several years ago. I built their hutches completely from scratch. I had never touched a saw, never touched a drill before, and I built their stuff from scratch. And ever since then, I've really enjoyed working, like woodworking and doing those kind of things. So I would love to build a cabinet, maybe one that has like a flip up lid, like, or a flip up top, so that if we had storage stuff, it would be a little bit easier to access. But still, even just being a little bit wider would make getting back to some of those things, like some of those storage things that are like pushed way back, it would make it a lot easier to be able to get to the things that we need. So I could still put, you know, kitchen appliances there, or we can put some of the toys for Emery. We switch them out every once in a while. That's my 9-month-old. She is not a super independent player. She loves to play with other people, but she doesn't typically like to just sit and play by herself. So we rotate her toys every few days. So it's like, oh, this is new, this is fun, I'm gonna play with this. And it's been working really well. So maybe we can do that there, or have extra stuff for her, or whatever, anything that we need. So that's what I would like to do. I would also love to put little floating shelves all the way up in the corners of that little space around the couch. I have a lot of plants. As you saw, I love house plants, and I love succulents in particular. They hold my heart, and I would love to be able to put all of those up. I have my grandmother's almost 50-year-old pothos plant. So I would love to be able to put those up on the shelf where baby can't pull apart the leaves and where the cats can't chew on the leaves, because it makes me nervous. I know that some of those things are toxic to the pets, at least. And so I just like them up out of like hand's reach, because we do almost have a toddler. She is almost walking and she's getting into everything. So I'd like to get them up a little bit higher so that I don't have to worry about her like yanking stuff out and, you know, killing my almost 50-year-old plant. That would make me really sad. So we're not going to do that. So I'd like those shelves. And really that's it. You know, there's like another shelf I would like to put at the end of the, I didn't show you that space, but like at the very end of the counter on our island, I would love to put like a little, like one of those little shelves that have like little boxes, like the box bins that you can like put in there. You can put like different colors or whatever. I'd love to put that so that I could put pretty much all of the baby's toys in that, and then just store them away. Because right now, as you saw, they're like just sitting in front of the fireplace, which is great for now when we're not using the fireplace. When we are using the fireplace and we're actually using it for heat, obviously I don't, even though it doesn't get hot enough to like melt it or anything, like melt any toys or like set anything on fire, I still don't want anything in front of the fireplace. One, because I just like looking at it, and two, like if she's gonna play with stuff, I would rather her just go off a little ways and not have like the hot air blowing in her face. So you know, there's like little things like that, but for now, that is the living room update that we're wanting to do. I don't know what we're going to be doing on flooring. I have another video that we're going to be talking about kind of all the things that are falling apart in our house. We had them replace the floors. They accidentally made, the company that we bought the RV from accidentally had a huge tear in our flooring as they were moving the furniture in when they were cleaning. And they like moved it out. They have to like check underneath it and stuff like that. And they put a huge gash in our beautiful new floors that had never been lived in. And they sent out a company, which they were really, really sweet. Like we had such a good time. It was such a fun time to talk to them. They were very sweet guys. I'd been doing this a really long time, but our floors are already pulling up. Like it's just that like laminate flooring, and that you just lay down and glue around the edges. But it's already pulling up. Like you can literally just pull it up. And we didn't pay as much as we paid for this rig. It's a nice rig. just for it to fall apart and for the flooring to pull up. So we're dealing with that. They have not been very cooperative at the place where we bought this, unfortunately. And that's my biggest tip for you is get everything in writing. Get everything in writing, because they have made promises to us they have not fulfilled. They have told us they would do warranty work and do it with a mobile technician, so that because they knew that we lived in it full time. And since saying that, they've told us that they will not do that. So that's why we have a broken AC. You saw our little AC unit that was in there in the video. That is what that is from, because one of our AC units is broken and we cannot afford a mobile technician. Like, you have to pay for their time, and obviously their time is very valuable, so they charge a lot for their time. We cannot afford a mobile technician to come out and fix it. And that's our bedroom ones. So that's over our girls' bedroom, their loft, and my husband and I's bedroom. And so it is very hot. We have two mobile AC units that we've had to spend money on, which we can't spend money on other things when we're spending it on that. But just to even make it bearable, and even then it is miserable. So just get everything in writing. Get everything in writing. If you can't get it in writing, go buy it from somewhere else. Like, seriously, it's not worth it. Like, you spend a lot of money. These are big investments, and if you cannot make sure that you're going to be covered, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So we're navigating that. This is a new process for us. We have only bought our first car together since we've been married just recently. So like in the past few years. So we're new to making big investments, money investments. Like, we just kind of had our own separate things until we met and got married, almost 4 years ago now. So, we're just navigating this. We're learning with you guys. I've had a couple people who are like, wow, you know so much about all this. And we're like, we're just learning with everybody else. We really don't know what we're doing. We're just trying our best to make it easier on people and help people as they learn as well. So, with that being said, I need to wrap this up. I know this has been kind of a long video. It's bordering along 30 minutes, but I appreciate you sticking with me through it all. This was a big update, and I'm really, really happy that you're here. I'm really happy that you're invested in this journey. Thank you so much for coming along with us. It is definitely an adventure. And I hope that there is some sort of entertainment value for you. Either it's really funny watching us go through it and figure it out, or you're learning something along the way, just like we are. So we appreciate your views. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We really couldn't do this without you. I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but it's true. We do it for you guys, and this is taking time out of our day, but if we can help somebody, that's all that really matters. So, with that being said, that is today's video. We will see you tomorrow for our next video, and I hope that you enjoy this 100-day challenge. Don't forget to please put your suggestions for both questions for our question and answer video that we're going to be having on Sunday. Please put your questions that you have for us. It doesn't matter what the subject. Put those down below in the comments, and also give us some ideas for some awesome videos. We have lots of ideas. There's lots of really fun things coming up, but 100 videos is a lot. So I would love some suggestions, and if you have any suggestions, I would love to be able to use those and create those into videos, and I will even give you credit if I see that you were the one who suggested it. So thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow, and I hope that this has been a fun experience for you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow. Stay radiant, friends.